All right, for example 3 on page 258, we're going to translate these inequality symbols from words into math. Remember the language of math, into numbers and symbols, and then we're going to solve them. So example 3a tells us the product of -4 and a number is more than 12. Okay, so what's our inequality phrase? More than. So we know that something is more than 12. Now what's the end result? That's the 12. What operation is implied? What does the word product tell us we're doing? What math operation? Basically, we have 4 basic math operations: add, subtract, multiply, divide. Product is what we call the answer of a multiplication problem. So that word tells us that we must be doing some multiplication if we have a product. And what 2 things are we multiplying? It says -4 and a number. So that means -4n. Or you could put X or whatever letter of the alphabet you want to use for your variable, for your unknown. Now our next instruction says to solve this. So we're going to divide in order to undo this multiplication. Our negatives cancel and our 4's cancel, and we have n. Don't forget to reverse our inequality symbol, and then 12 divided by -4 gives us -3. Now, example 3b tells us the number of students divided into 6 groups must be at least 4. So our inequality phrase is at least. Can we have more than 4? Yes. Can we have 4? Yes. Can we have less than 4 and it be at least 4? No. So that means we are talking about greater than or equal to, and the end result is 4. Now, our word problem, our sentence told us that the number of students was divided. So we automatically know what math operation we're using. This is a division problem. So the number of students is going to be divided into 6 groups, and each group will have at least 4. So here's our inequality equation. N divided by 6 is greater than or equal to 4. We're going to undo this division with multiplication. If we divide by 6 on the left, we need to do this on the right. That's going to leave us with n is greater than or equal to 24. So that means there have to be 24 or more students in order to make 6 groups with 4 students in each group, with at least 4 students in each group. There have to be 24 or more students. So skill check C tells us to translate each inequality statement and solve, and it gives us 3 statements here to practice translating and solving. And then let's look at our exercises. We're going to do 1 through 10 all. And then starting in problem 10, it tells us to just determine whether the given value is a solution for each inequality. So they're giving us a number. For instance, problem 10, p divided by 6 is less than or equal to 7, and they said p equals 48. So if p equals 48, will that work? Will 48 divided by 6 give us a value that's less than or equal to 7? So what we have to do is substitute that 48 into p's place and do the math problem to see if we get a true math sentence or a false math sentence. And then we're just going to give a yes or no as our final answer. But we have to do that work to see whether our answer should be yes or no. So in this section, we're going to start with our odds, and we're going to do 11 through 19 odd. And then in exercise B, it says solve and graph. And just so that you don't have to graph every answer, we'll just pick a few here. Let's do 22, 26, and 29. Now I notice in exercise B, some of these problems have a negative sign in front of the fraction. Some of them have a negative in the denominator of the fraction. It doesn't matter if whether the negative is written in front of the fraction or in the denominator of the fraction. We still handle it the same way. We're going to need to multiply by negative something so that our negatives will cancel each other out. And then on page 260, let's do 30 through 30 for all. If you're doing really well solving equations and you're getting those answers correct, then you could just write an inequality for these problems and not necessarily go on to solve it, but you at least need to practice making an inequality, translating from these words into the language of math with numbers and symbols. You can solve them. You don't have to, though, if you're doing well with solving. If you need more practice solving inequalities, then by all means, solve these for more practice because we're getting close to the test on this chapter. And then let's pick a life problem. Let's do problem 36. And then our cumulative review, 41 through 50. And that'll be it for lesson 6.7.